Oh hey, do you remember on yesterday's episode how we talked about getting a car? Well, we got one. So we're going to go through the adventure real quick of buying the car. A little bit later in the video, I'm going to ask you guys to help us name it, because it's just a thing we do on this channel. We name random things, like my giant scissors, Bertha. Actually, we never named those. I just made that up right now. So, scissors were named Bertha. But we have a giant bread truck that we drive around town to go thrifting in. And we figured we needed something more fuel efficient for the smaller trips, right? So, we bought a car. But the cool part is that one day when we go on the road doing all our travel thrifting that we do on this channel, we're going to pull our new car behind the bread truck. So we really figure that these two need to be named together. So be ready to drop your comments below after you see the car. But let's jump into the journey of buying this car, because it's been kind of a wild one. Stick around. Okay, so here's how our car buying journey went. There were about 10 options of the car that we wanted here in town. So we reached out to all 10 of these people, some at car dealerships, some on OfferUp, things like this. And honestly, out of the 10, only about 3 of them got back to us at all. And so we had car dealerships that we would go to, the car would be there, and then nobody would be there. So there's a lot of complications because of COVID. There's also the added problem that everyone just got stimulus checks, so a lot of people, rightfully so, are using this money to buy cars. So there's just a lot of problems buying cars. But we go to look at the first car, we can't find anybody to help us at the car lot. We call the number, no one's answering, so we have to skip out on the first option. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Option number 2, we move on to a nice little blue car, and we go to this dealership, and it's a nice car, but it's just not quite in our price range, and it's a little bit too many miles, so we ended up skipping car number 2 also. But it was the first one we looked at where we were just like, this is awesome, we know what we want now. How funny do you think it's gonna be to see me get in this thing? Where's the keyhole? I have no idea. Oh, the keyhole's down here.
Only $139 a month.
And what about the North American car?
It's a blueberry.
It's like a yogurt-covered blueberry.
So move on to car number 3. This is an OfferUp call, and this is one out of about 5 people. I was constantly messaging on OfferUp saying I'll take the car, and one guy was like, okay, you can come get it, and then I'm on the way, and he's like, well, hold on a second, the hood's falling off and not latching, and the fan's not coming on, so you can drive it, but you can't let it sit and idle. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want that one. So we go to the guy that says, no, the car is great, you can come look at it. Again, 1 out of about 10 people messaging on OfferUp. Finally, one's like, okay, the car is fine, come look at it. So we go look at that car, and I'm gonna roll those clips for you, because this was yesterday, and then we're gonna go thrifting today. So stick around for all that. It's gonna be a good one. So we're sitting outside of a grocery store, which is next to a UPS, because it's kind of complicated, but we're meeting someone in a parking lot to buy the car. But here in Arizona, you have to have a title notarized, and UPS should notarize the title. I hope that's Hannah's inside checking that out right now. So we should be good. Dude should roll up with the car. If it looks good, I'm gonna buy it. Got a bag full of money to prove it. Hannah, good? Hannah says good. They notarize here. I haven't ever had anything notarized since we've lived here. I think the last time I had something notarized, it was at the library. Librarians will do it, but today it's UPS. I should probably message them and say, I'm in a giant bread truck.
Yep, that'd be good.
I think we just saw it pull in, and it's stupid. It's a joke. We just parked way over there, so I guess we'll walk over. Yeah, take a look at it real quick. First problem, the gas tank is on the opposite side that I'm used to. It's all right, I can get used to that. But I wanted to show you guys the fill up because just keep in mind with current gas prices, it would cost about $110 to fill our bread truck all the way up. Just keep that in mind. Don't get me wrong, I love my bread truck. Still happy to have it, but that's for the big hauls. This is for the little hauls. Is it one of those sun?
That's
$25.79.
That's what the expensive gas.
$25.79 for premium. I put $35 in the van today, drove around the block, and used all of it. It's got one of those sunshades on it that are of questionable legality.
I saw one of those the other day, and I was like, I don't know about that. Is that allowed?
I don't know. We'll keep it on there until it ain't. It feels so weird putting this back after 25.
I know. I'm like, is it broken? Why did it stop?
And smart cars recommend you use premium gas. I don't think the guy we got it from was putting premium in it. It should probably run, you should just notice it run a little bit smoother with this gas in it. Would you like a receipt? No. All right. I'm gonna drive it back to the bread truck and then you get to drive it home.
Okay.
Unless you want to drive the bread truck.
Hold yourself in there.
It's not bad.
It's really not. You have more trouble getting into Ivan and Monique's car.
For sure. I've got to send Ivan a picture too. Windows down, baby.
It's so breezy in here.
Getting on the highway for the first time. Let's go, baby. I gotta adjust these mirrors. We're going 80 in a soda can. Look at Hannah's hair. That's convertible hair, baby. Look, I'm gonna put the top back up.
I feel like it's gonna hit me in the head.
So dope.
Neat. Are we fancy?
Oh, and it's airtight when it latches back in too. I like it. It's dark in here too. Privacy windows. We bought a smart car. There's a lot. Listen, I'm more comfortable driving this than I was my Toyota Scion because the roof's taller.
Yeah.
The first one I sat in today, it had a hard roof and it was a little less room. There's actually 2 or 3 more inches with this convertible. And the air conditioner works, that's about half the battle.
We're not gonna sweat our booty off this summer like we thought we were.
Yeah, exactly. It is the next day now. Hannah's still asleep, so I'm gonna let her sleep while I go to the auto parts store and buy some stuff for old Smarty here. I need to top off some fluids and stuff. You can see I've already been under the hood. It's a little low on brake fluid, completely empty on windshield wiper fluid, and a little low on coolant. So we're gonna remedy these things, and I'm excited about it. I'm very excited about this car, if you haven't been able to tell yet. Well, I guess for the headlights, give me the packet too. Hey, that's what we're looking for. Honestly, it was almost too easy. Definitely had a more difficult time last time I did that in my bread truck. Honestly though, I've got a headlight going in and out. That's probably gonna be a little bit more difficult to change, but also I'm gonna be extra careful because I can be a bit absent-minded and you can't touch the bulbs on these with your fingers. So I gotta be real careful. All right, all my headlights, turning signals, they all work now. We had a bright out and a turning signal, and that was it. And brake fluid was low. So now it's pretty much driving brand new. I think I might get an oil change today just to kind of soothe my my worries about a trip we're about to take. We're not wasting any time. We're at the emissions testing place. So here in Arizona, you have to have your emissions tested every year or two so that you can up your registration. So We're gonna get that done today. Gonna go get the title transferred. Gonna go to the thrift store, and then we're gonna chill. Don't really have anything else to do. I really didn't want to do all this today, but we are leaving for a trip on Monday, so got to get it done. Shouldn't be a problem though. I mean, if our old rust bucket, crappy as heck bread truck can pass the emissions, I'm expecting this smart car to just pass with flying colors. But it's a whole goofy thing. They gotta plug a hose into your exhaust pipes, suck in some air and test it. I don't know. There's steps, all right? Thanks. We're good, baby. All right, let's go transfer this title, and then I can call it mine. The question is, though, do we pay for the Matrix license plate like the bread truck? You know what I mean? My vote's yes.
Yeah, just bring a birth certificate or passport or whatever shows that you're authorized to be here in the United States.
All right. We survived the DMV. I've been here one too many times in the last couple months. We just bought a bread truck and we bought a smart car. I got my temporary license plate. We're ready for our trip. It's always stressful. There's always these little fears that you're gonna go to the emissions and there's gonna be something wrong with the car, and then you're gonna have to go to the mechanic before you go to the emissions, and then you have to do all that before you can go title it to yourself. It's just, but it's all over. It's our smart car. Well, I'll show you this too. I can't tell you how many times I've been walking out to a parking lot already looking for my smart car, and I can't find it because it's parked behind another really small car. And it doesn't take much. Look how small it is. It's so stupid. It's the dumbest thing I've ever done. I thought the bread truck was dumb. This is really dumb. So the temporary license plate that they gave me until they mail me the new one is a plasticky piece of paper. The last thing the lady said was, just put this on the back of your car. You can go through the car wash with it. It is waterproof. And I was like, all right, well, I'm about to find out. So we'll have to check, make sure the license plate's still on when we go through. It barely feels plasticky. Kind of worried about this. It's one wheel conveyor belt. I thought it was gonna be two, and then I wasn't gonna be wide enough to fit on them. That is not the case. Look at it. Thank you very much. It's a wet chamois. Is that for like the inside?
I don't know. Maybe you dry it off afterwards.
Also, this is a convertible, so we're about to find out if there's any leaks.
The noodle wall! Bloop.
Or it's gonna push us backwards. We're not heavy enough for this.
Ooh, wavy noodle wall!
It's pushing the car back and forth violently. All right, it didn't get sketchy until the end. The engine for this is on the back. We're sitting on top of it. So the front, there is a hood like a normal car, but there's not as much under there, and the hood's not quite as serious. So the hood came off at the very last second with the wind blowers. I'm gonna have to remember that next time and put a better latch on it. Not normally a problem, but those fans are very powerful. All right, I'm gonna vacuum this thing a little bit. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things as we take this car thrifting for the first time. We are outside of a Goodwill. Who would have thought? Now, I've made jokes a lot in the past when we've ridden with friends in their cars about getting out of the cars. It's always headroom that's difficult, and that's actually a lot of headroom. So Ivan was here a couple days ago, rode in his car, had to fold myself in half to get out. Dan and Lisa, our friends we do a lot of game hunting with, I had to fold myself to get in and out. Not the smart car, not at all. It's so easy to get in and out. The only difficult part might be getting my legs under the wheel, but even then, It's not really that bad. I figured I should address that because a lot of people are gonna be like, why would you get that? You're not gonna fit. I swear to you, I can get in and out of that car easier than any of these other cars. Maybe not the mid-size, those might be a little bit easier, but any regular car, there's so much headroom in there. I'm like centimeters short of 6'6", right?
Yeah.
There's like 3 inches of headroom on top of me in there. It's pretty awesome. Now, another valid concern you might have is how we're gonna fit all our thrifted stuff in there. Well, 9 out of 10 thrift days, honestly, we fill an IKEA bag up at most. And there's definitely 3 or 4 stacked IKEA bag room in the back of this car. So if we find something big we have to have, there's nothing too far away we can't drive home and get the bread truck. So from now on, regular thrift days, that's the Thriftmobile. Also, that being said, you guys got to comment below and suggest a name now. Now this is difficult because we made a big deal out of naming our bread truck, right? Well, we never quite gave it an official name, but that was because we knew we were going to buy a car. And listen, they're a pair. They go together. They have to have names that go together, like Bert and Ernie or what?
Cosmo and Wanda, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, something like that. So comment below your best suggestions as we begin thrifting. He's got a crown on. Do you think he bought that here just now?
Wow. This is a blast from the past. Anybody else had a Tang picture at home? That is a authentic Tang canister. I don't know about you, but I actually really liked Tang whenever I was younger, probably because it was just sugar with a little bit of orange flavoring in it. But this is tempting. I mean, I'm not going to be drinking Tang anytime in my near future. But maybe it resells well, maybe it doesn't. I'll have to look that up. That's really cool to see. We had one at home. There's probably still one in my mom's cabinet. We'll have to ask her.
Not really any fantastic gaming stuff over there. Just ants. It's just a couple bucks, so maybe I'll get it. I don't know. Not really a lot going on here. This Goodwill is kind of new, kind of not. It technically used to be a few buildings down, but it was a different kind of Goodwill. It didn't look anything like this. It sold fancier stuff. It was like a high-end Goodwill. I don't know how to explain it to you. You probably wouldn't really understand unless you had one in your town. They were called redesigns, but they gave up on trying to do the fancier thing, moved a couple buildings down and condensed back into a regular Goodwill. I'm not seeing nothing. That's all right. We're on the side of town where we got our car titled, and there's also a Walmart nearby where I might go just get a quick oil change. I could do it myself, but I've never done it on this car, and I really don't like the idea of crawling under that thing. It's so little. I mean, I can jack it up and stuff, but we're gonna take the easy way out on this one, on the smart car.
This Corningware has a lip on the top of it. They usually don't. They usually look like this one here, with just that like straight edge top. That's $3.49. It's too expensive. I kind of need another one of those for my house. Let's unearth this thing. It's so curious. I've never seen one like that. Doesn't have the lid though, which is a shame. It's a little too expensive for me to buy. That's interesting.
Here's kind of a bummer. I do not have this game for sure, but it's ripped. This though. Windows 95. Feel a little bit like I should look that up.
I see the handles of a potentially really cute canister set. See those little yellow tops? What's it gonna be? Oh, I see some like fruit. Some harvesty looking stuff. These are interesting. Huh. They are glass. They kind of looks like they could be plastic. $1.49, $3.49, $2.49. It's actually really affordable for a canister set from Goodwill. They usually mark them up pretty high. Maybe like marking them down a little cheap. That one's rip. I don't love them though. Because I don't think anybody's gonna be scrambling to put that in their kitchen. So we'll leave it here. It was really cute. It was a fun adventure.
I have spotted one NTSC logo. Let's get it. Let's get it. Man, I wish there was some more. I could really use a good PlayStation find right now. It looks like that might be the only one.
This is in a pretty nice part of town, and the furniture section here is usually pretty lit. This looks like a hand-painted portrait thing. This doesn't look like something you just bought at like Kohl's or something. It's cool. It's a little bold for me. I don't see any tags. Yeah, it's like proper painting. Do I love it or do I hate it? It's a little clownish, so I feel like I've kind of leaned toward hating it, but I appreciate it. It's 20 bucks though. It's massive. Let's check out the rest of the furniture. Tiny keyboard. Looks kind of cool. A little vintage. Wow. 100 bucks. Outdoor patio furniture. It's brand new though, so I guess that's a bargain. Ooh, this is pretty. Missing its handles, but it's not the worst. Very pretty. Alright, I'm not gonna force it.
Complain about not finding great finds when you just bought a new car. That's a pretty good pickup right there. And to be clear, I probably could pick it up. We're at the old Walmart now to get an oil change, and I'm used to just paying for the cheapest oil change for my old van, Betsy. Can't do that with a smart car because it's got to be full synthetic, so about 45 bucks, but I'll feel a lot better about our drive for our trip come Monday when it's got brand new oil in it. Is it the clearance aisle? That's the smallest clearance aisle I've ever seen. It's got a bunch of ranch dressing on it. Hello? I just stood here for like 5 minutes thinking, oh, I wonder if my smart car is done. There it is pulling out, but it was actually sitting behind that car and I couldn't see it. It's so small. Well, I feel super productive. Got the car all transferred over. Got the oil changed. And while the oil's changed, we ate lunch and then we bought stuff for dinner. And all is well. We have a smart car.
Look how clean it is.
I can't stop giggling about it. I know, we washed the car too. Look how beautiful it is. Just look at it. Would you just look at it? It fits all in my camera and I'm like 2 feet away. We've got a smart car.
We do.
I'm a little bit surprised that we were able to license it, title it, get it checked for emissions, everything in one day. And really, when we bought our bread truck was a 3-day process because failed emissions, had to go fix it, come back for emissions. It's a difficult process. It's not difficult, it's just scary because you're just afraid the whole time, oh, it's going to fail emissions, I'm going to have to pay a mechanic to fix it. Oh, there's going to accidentally somehow magically be a lien on this title, even though it's just irrational stuff, right? But it's done. We'll have our brand new license plate mailed to us in a couple weeks, and it's ours. The car is ours. How do you feel about it?
I feel good about it. I mean, honestly, my biggest relief with the whole thing is that now we spend a fraction of what we were spending in gas.
It's even better than I thought. I mean, mathematically I knew how it was going to be, but like we put about $35 a day in the bread truck to drive it around Phoenix to our antique malls, etc., 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 and $35 trip around town and back. It uses all that gas. We filled up this car, as you saw, for $25 and basically have driven it around for a day and a half and only used 1/8 of a tank. So 1/8 of $25 a day.
It's insane.
From $35, it's nuts. It's for both of us, it's insane. I mean, the most fuel efficient car we had prior to now was maybe 17 miles a gallon max.
Yeah.
And we're hitting about 35 right now. It's hard. It's strange, but you know, it's going to be interesting to see how we fit the car into our thrifting routine because the car was important because, you know, we have to buy tools and choose things to fit into our daily thrifting and video making routine. These are our biggest priorities. We have to do these things to make our income. And so we're still going to have to come home and park that car sometimes and take the bread truck. Like if we have a full restock day to go restock all of our antique malls, not very realistic to expect to use the smart car. And that's one day out of the week. So, you know, there's one for sure day out of the week that we have to drive the bread truck. And I'm sure there's going to come plenty of days that we are out in the smart car, we find something large for your antique mall booth that we have to get. We have to go get the bread truck.
For sure.
So it's not, you know, it's not like we're just going to park the bread truck and leave it. But I am very excited to get back out on the road and take both of these cars with us. Because now we'll be able to go places a little bit longer. We can go camp out somewhere in the bread truck and drive the smart car into towns and thrift. And I think that's going to be lovely. I think that's going to really open up travel for us in a different way. Because both vehicles that we've traveled in so far have been huge boats that aren't the most comfortable things to just go buzz around town and go thrifting in. And now we'll be able to do that. So that being said, this is why we need to name these two vehicles together. We name things here on the channel. It's just what we do. And we made a big fuss about naming the bread truck on the first trip that we took it on, and then didn't end up naming it. And that was honestly because we knew we were going to buy a smart car. We have been talking about buying a smart car since when?
I mean, before we bought the bread truck.
Since we lived in California.
That's true, yeah. I forgot about that.
Years and years. And you know, part of it's kind of a joke because you see my big self climb out of it and you're just like, excuse me, are you the doctor? Is that the TARDIS? And you know, that's all good and fun, but I don't know. It's an efficient little car and we both like efficiency and it fits both of us. So we've always wanted one. So that being said, that's why we held off on naming it. So I have no good ideas for names. I'm pretty much counting on you guys. So drop your comments below, and we didn't really get much worth talking about at the thrift today. Just a couple games. They're already scanned into my collection. But listen, more thrifting adventures on tomorrow's episode, maybe? No, maybe not. It's the weekend. We're basically taking off for a trip first thing on Monday. So make sure you're subscribed and those notifications are turned on so that you can be here for those trip videos. It's going to be fun. We're meeting up with some friends a few towns over. Actually, a state over, and we're gonna do some thrifting, and it's gonna be fun. Gonna do some bins, I hope, fingers crossed. Gonna eat a lot of food and shoot a lot of videos. So make sure you're here for that. Make sure you're here all for the rest of the week because we do post daily videos on this channel. And the last plea I have for you is pretty please hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 15,000 subs because we're basically taking this trip for our 10,000 sub celebration. Let's just go ahead and get to 15,000 subs and do another celebration trip. That's what I'm saying. So hit the subscribe button, make that happen. And until tomorrow, guys, peace out.